Welcome back to the channel. Last week I featured a doctored up Acura RDX that was up for auction on the channel. And a lot of you wanted to know what happened to it after it went up for auction. I did pin a comment to the top of that video, but not everybody goes back to read it. So here's what happened. It sold for $7,200, but it did not meet the reserve that the sellers had. So the next day, it was relisted in the auction with an I buy fast or a buy it now price of $8,800. And about 3 hours later, some unfortunate soul paid that $8,800 plus auction fees. Now I hope they weren't planning on a car that they could drive home, because that certainly wasn't it. And if they bought a parts car, I think they overpaid. That's what they get for not watching my videos. So a lot of you asked, how common is this? Does it happen a lot in the auction? And I don't go looking for these. These are just ones that I stumble across when I'm searching for a certain type of car. And I decided to go looking for these. And I just searched the same auction where our favorite sellers always list their cars. And it has provided me with enough content to give you a new car every day this week. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe and ring the bell for notifications so that you can keep up with all these cars. Hopefully at the end of the week, we'll have the results of what happened to all these cars that are going up for auction, but I'll feature a new one every day. So let's jump into our first one. Okay, so we have a 2020 Jaguar F-pace premium all-wheel drive. No seller, so that means it's a third-party auction car. It has a Connecticut salvage title, and it's in Metro DC, Maryland. So this is from our favorite sellers. So let's take a look at it and see if we can figure out what was wrong with it. First, I noticed this door was a different color. So we'll start there. I did see that this wheel was pointed in a different direction than this wheel, but then I realized they moved the car. So that's not really an issue. They just straightened out the wheels, took the pictures at different times. We got some kind of weird damage, almost looks like something spilled on it and then ran down it, like the bumper was off and hanging on a stand maybe, and they spilled something on it. Not sure, kind of weird, but it does give us a clue that this rear bumper might have been off at one time. We are missing the little cap for the door handle here. And I started to realize that this door is a different color because there's frost on the car. So not necessarily because it's been painted a different color. We got our giveaway. We had an airbag go off here. Still deployed. Our seatbelt is probably deployed as well. Gate fits a little different on this side than it does on this side. You can see the frost on it. 30,701 miles. It is running, so it does run. We do have an airbag light on and a tire light. So we definitely have some airbag issues. Headliner doesn't look torn up on this side. Got our VIN number. I don't see anything that looks suspicious under here. Doesn't look like the hood's ever been off. Everything looks good here. We got a key. I do notice there's a molding missing right here. Should be up like that, black molding. Our gaps look decent. Our wheel is turned in this picture to match the other one. Notice the gap's a little tight at the top here, a little wide here. Doesn't look too bad back here, at least from the distance we're getting these pictures from. These gaps are a lot smaller than the other side. Definitely closer back here and wider up here. Let's see if we have a 360. Still don't know what's going on back here. That's definitely frost on the car, so I'm not really worried about that paint not matching there. Definitely see that molding's missing. Our gaps look decent here. Let's see the inside. Oh, we have a deployed seatbelt here, so they never bothered to fix that. Looks like there might be a wrinkle there in the headliner. Guess it depends on how picky you are. I don't see anything else. It jumps out at me. And some dirt on the rear seat here. So it really doesn't look too bad. They've done worse, that's for sure. So let's go see what it looked like before they got their hands on it. Okay, wow. Maybe that door doesn't match, because it was definitely hitting the door. It had the molding on it in this picture. Not sure where it went. Didn't make it back on there. It came from Copart. They paid $10,800 for it back on 9/11 of 22, so they've had it for a while. Check that. That's November 9th. Here in America, we put the month before the day for some odd reason. Same reason we refuse to use the metric system, I guess. And that door is in pretty good. Our quarter's in and a dog leg. There's our deployed seat airbag. Our seat belts are both deployed. Our curtain airbag did go off. Well, they put a few miles on this one. They didn't mind driving it. Maybe that's why they actually did a somewhat decent job fixing it. Like I said, they have done worse. But if you're looking at it thinking you're going to drive this thing or you're going to be able to sell it, and you're going to have to put some airbags in it and clear some modules, and who knows what the inside of the quarter looks like. I would assume they put a door on it. It had a cap back here. They probably took this cap and put it up here. That's why they didn't have an extra. And if they didn't want to spend the money for that cheap little cap, you have to wonder what else they didn't want to spend the money on. Like, is this dog leg and this pillar made of Bondo? Who knows? There's the VIN number. And that's our last picture. So it's not the worst one that they've done, and I guess they wanted to drive it around, so they at least made it look good from 20 feet away so they could cruise around in style in their Jaguar. And now they're passing it off on to the new owner. Now, as far as doctored up auction cars from this seller go, this is definitely the highest quality rebuild I've seen them do so far. But it is in the auction for some reason, and you have to wonder why. Is it because it has some kind of problem, like with their repair, or the fact that it is a Jaguar? Or is it just time for them to get rid of it and they showcase their masterpiece and now it's time to move on? I don't know, and the only way to answer that would be to see the vehicle in person. Unfortunately, it's in DC and I'm in Chicago, and I'm only making these videos for you guys to learn what to look for in the auction pictures so you don't have to waste your time to actually go see them in person. So that's what I'm going to continue doing. If it happens to pop up in Chicago, I'll show you one of these firsthand. So until then, thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow with their next offering.